Warning, the following dialogue shall be a very badly attempt of speaking Shakespearean. Hear ye, friends, Romans, countrymen, possessors of the magic box. That's a TV, computer, or phone. Lend me your ears. 'Tis I, Black Rhino Ranger, and I welcome thee to a live stream of tragedy, romance, and comedy. To the present day, 458 years ago, ye old legend of English poetry, William Shakespeare, be christened. He'd be known for many timeless, well, mostly, stories, such as Romeo and Juliet, The Tempest, Hamlet, Macbeth, A Midsummer's Night's Dream, and so forth and so forth. These tales These tales West did betoken for over 400 years, and they continue to did betoken to this very day. Anon, since much of mine audience is unfamiliar with most of his tales, allow me to make it easier for thee to understandeth. What I have present are simple summaries of many of his famous plays. This should help thee receive an idea of what to request. And all you have to, but first, ye must request a character to play as the English poet himself. Which shall it be? And don't worry, oh, okay, so, well, no need to explain Romeo and Juliet. Oh, this can... Okay, let's just do Romeo and Juliet. Well, I kind of lost a little bit of track on that. We Now, of course, I'm drawing these. I'm just drawing an idea of what some of the Shakespeare clothings might have been like in the old ages. Keep in mind these tales have been retold for many, many years, so they're bound to be some costume changes over time. And in case you're wondering, I'm not going to be speaking Shakespeare all the time. I only probably speak in a bit of Shakespeare during some important scenes. It's like the what was that East thingy again? What was that other one again? I better make sure the glasses are. Now there are some incarnations where I did remember seeing Juliet on wearing a flower crown or something. I'm just trying to. Has a bit of. I never noticed that Linder has a bit of a 60s hairdo. Sorry, these flowers are a bit weird. Let me start over. I'll just do a little this instead. Yeah, that's more like it. And let's have a little wait, In a sense, you could say is the scene where Romeo is like Juliet is the sun, something of the you could say it's a bit very similar to Rapunzel, even though I think Rapunzel was a little later. Here. I think something with the brothers Grimm, or other fairy tales. They were a lot later than Shakespeare. Let me try this again. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This castle's a little too small. Oh, well, that's the thing with live stream. Sometimes I have to sacrifice some big things in order to make room for some small things. Yeah. So what was that line again of the thing? But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? Is it the east? And Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid are far more fair than she. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, anyways, what was I? Okay, that's Romeo and Juliet done. Okay, I'll be right back. Just gotta take a look at my Discord. Okay. Alright. This one's a rule-free one. It's like, it's reminding me of Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, it's also kind of like Phantom of the Opera meets Pinocchio. And that's the wrong year. Just a quick moment. There we go. We have a Phantom of the Opera, another classic, but it's not exactly. Oh, this one is Offscreen. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else is there? Do you want the Well, I'm just double checking on the Zebedee. I mean, I have seen two different versions of Zebedee. There's the classic stop motion one, which I remember growing up as a kid, and there's the 2005 animated film, the CGI one, where it has the computer CGI Zebedee played by Ian McKellen. Or if you Americans might refer it to as Dougal, which is very infamous. I think I'm gonna go with the stop motion one because that's the one I'm used to. In fact, I remember owning a VHS with the Magic Roundabout, and it always has often the characters they end with "It is time for bed," and it's like, oh, there's still a bit of daylight. Why did they go to bed so early? And some bits are kind of random. Actually, I'll keep the bow because it's a kind of an essential part. Unless you're counting the movie. But I mean, this VHS I once owned. It had an episode where they perform in a band, and there was an episode where Dougal was just wearing his specs, and nothing much else happens. There was even an episode where Dougal had these crazy experiments, but then he experimented on Brian. This made Brian grow so many hairs on so much hair that he looks like a woolly caterpillar. Here. And he also tested some on Ermintrude. And everybody confuses Ermintrude for Dougal because of how much hair she has. Then Zebedee comes up with the cure for the over hair growth. Heck, there was even another episode where Brian steals Zebedee's spring. And another where they try to make themselves TV stars. Anyways, that's Zebedee as Macbeth, known for lines like "out, out, damn spot," as in you look like you washed your hands, but the guilt makes you still think you still got blood in your hands. Okay, anyways, what was it? Whoa. Screen, off screen, we'll send them on Discord. Have you seen the Gargoyles where one of the bad guys is Macbeth? Yes, I have seen. Oh, we got 2 Macbeth requests. Okay. There is a I wonder who would play Lady Macbeth. Would it be I don't think it would be Sandy, but I think it would be another squid. There's that squid character from the SpongeBob episode Love That Squid, where Squidward actually falls in love with another squid. And feeling nervous, he asks SpongeBob on a practice date. And spoiler alert, in the end, Squidward actually gets a nice reward. Now there's I might be overanalyzing this, but there might be an indication that Squidward is probably bi. I mean, there are of course, in Love That Squid, he does fall in love with this with this other squid woman, girl creature. But in something like Squilliam Returns, where he's like, "Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear." And as he does, he's like, "Oh no, he's hot!" And that's just a little indication. I could be wrong. It's just a theory on that. I could be mistaken. But it... And again... another thing is that although Stephen Hillenburg says that Squidward is supposed to be, that SpongeBob is supposed to be asexual, SpongeBob is, there are times when SpongeBob might have had an affection for Squidward. Take, for example, 20,000 Patties Under the Sea, when SpongeBob says, "Bye, Squidward, bye, Mr. Krabs." "Bye, Squidward." "You said bye, Squidward, twice," says Patrick. "I like Squidward." There's even an episode where... There are even 2 episodes where SpongeBob breathes very heavily on Squidward in Boating Buddies and in Squid's Visit. And there is also one episode where SpongeBob actually falls in love with a Krabby Patty. But not a lot of people want to think about that, except for Rock Band. Yes, Rock Band 2 actually had the song, the To Love a Patty song available for download. I actually bought that myself for Lego Rock Band. Anyways, here's Squidward as Macbeth. We got two Macbeths. Anyways, what was it? Never mind. All right, anyways, where was I on? Okay, let's just have the Shakespeare thing. Let's get the Shakespeare thing done. Let me just paint the eyes red. I don't know there was a Star Trek episode about Shakespeare. I think I'm not sure. Maybe maybe But then again, Luna was banished for like 1,000 years. And Shakespeare was a little bit younger than 1,000 years, so Luna was banished during the medieval ages, I believe. It's funny. Here's another funny thing. I think I said this before, but before Discord, the website, the word Discord was I was introduced to the word Discord through not My Little Pony, but through the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, where Eris, the goddess of chaos, has the apple of Discord. I wasn't aware. The show a character with the name of Discord wouldn't really pop up until Milo Pony from my introductions. Nothing's for friends who stop the game. Now I wonder where that feather came from. Did it came from a chicken? Did it came from a phoenix? Did it come from either from one of the Pegasus? Hopefully it's not Fluttershy, otherwise she'd be really upset. I won't bother giving him pants because he's a Draconicus. He can dress himself up as whatever. I actually debate if one of his feet is that of a lizard or a dinosaur. Definitely looks very scaly and reptilian-ish. Chaos is a wonderful thing, but not as wonderful as the friendship of the magic of friendship. Oh, this again. There we go, fellas. We have Discord as William Shakespeare. Perhaps he should bring chaos to the writing. Anyways, what was I? Alright, what was I? Okay, Shakespeare's Discord is done. Now, so what I've got here are some simple summaries of whatever Shakespeare. In case you guys are not familiar with them, from over here we have Romeo, and there's some more on the left and right as we go along. Okay, so far we've got Romeo and Juliet done, and we've got Macbeth done. Next up is Hamlet. Do you have anybody to play as Hamlet? Hamlet's uncle, Claudius, kills Hamlet's dad so he can seize the throne and marry Hamlet's mother. Known for the quote of, "To be or not to be? That is the question." And the slings and arrows across the sea of trouble, shape up arms against the sea of troubles. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. So let's see. Let's see. We're not trying to be. We're trying to help you before we. Oh. Jerry has hurry. Shio. Excuse me for a minute. Wait. Well, let me just have a little Horatio standing with. Why the heck with I forget. There was Horatio holding Hamlet. It's usually Yorick that's the skeleton or whatever. Okay, so I'm making sure that not everybody wears that same collar thingy. Yeah, we're just trying to make. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't always. Like sometimes they could be wearing something else. Like maybe Sparrow could. Hamlet is still wearing a bit of that battle armor. And just trying to. Wait, what was his? What was his tail? What did his tail look like again? Sometimes I forget, and I had to be constantly reminded every time I mess up on the tail and the wings. I better give and I cannot forget his signature wings. Yeah, as for Spyro, I sometimes include them if I want to, but other times I either forget or I remove them for the sake of actually I don't know why I remove them. I just think sometimes they get in the way. There's a little sword of just in case he needs to fight against his uncle. I wonder if Malefor would be Scar. I mean Claudius, I meant. Maybe Cinder would be Ophelia. I don't know. There we go, fellas. We have Jeremy and Spyro as Horatio and and Hamlet. And as for the and because of that, the rest of the play is silenced until the rule-free request. Pink Jenny from Pink Fong and Koshi. The designs of Octonauts look very familiar. Yeah, I don't know. It reminds me of this CGI bird I once saw. It premieres a lot in Malaysian television. It might have been Chinese or something, but there's a CG chicken show. That's what this reminds me of. It's a what was that thing again? The Donodoxy. What is that? Huh. I don't know about I don't know about the Donodoxy thing because I'm trying to look up and something about the kelp all I'm getting are results of the kelp monster mystery. I think I'll just Yeah, this thing has a star. Oops. And back to that other character. There we go. We have Jenny and Koshi reading a book. Oh, I got another one. The prehistoric elephant. Oh, is that a giant? It's a very giant elephant. Is that the straight tusk elephant, or is that something else? Because man, these tusks are huge. It's like I'm drawing a myrmidon. So what is it you want me to draw again? I wonder if you could draw Zygarde in the form and shape of an elephant. Okay, let me have an attempt at that. Oops, that wasn't right. Hmm. I'm trying to be. Okay. There. That's my attempt to try and make a Zygarde elephant form. It's not great, but did my best. She needs to, Jenga, she's going crazy. She needs to stay calm. What's happened? What's happened? Is somebody gone rogue or something? Anyways, let's see. Next up is Othello. Iago, and I don't mean the parrot. By the way, rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried. He is jealous of Othello marrying to Desdemona. So, he makes a fit to Othello that Demona is cheating on him. Thus, Othello suffocates Desdemona in a pillow, and then we realize, oh god, what have I done? And realizes Iago betrayed him, they fought, and then they both died. Oh dear, indeed. Let's see, not bad. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. I thought someone would never ask. In fact, this is what the original version of Aladdin's Iago was supposed to be like. Was supposed to be like. He was originally supposed to be a serious character, while Jafar ended up being the well, Jafar would be the one to be the comedic character, a bit with his own insane over the topness, while Iago would be like just be like minding his own business, like he's like maybe groaning or, hey, why is my master acting like this? There's no justice. But then the writers then saw Beverly Hills Cop. They saw an iconic scene in Beverly Hills Cop 2 where his character, and he's like, oh, what are you doing to my house? Oh, Joe, come right in. Sir, are you Mr. Sidney Bernstein? Yes, lucky yes. Well, you have 25 unpaid parking tickets and you want it for your rest. 25? What 25? I pay my tickets. I pay all my tickets. That's when the writers decided, let's rework Iago and make him more comical and get that actor to play Iago. And thus Iago was born, the Aladdin version. And funny enough, in the Aladdin TV series, Iago did say that Othello was like his cousin or something. or a rival. In fact, Iago was so iconic that people started hiring Gilbert Gottfried for other animated projects, including Digit from Cyber Chase, Dr. Bender from Fairly Odd Parents, Rick Platypus from Mind Your Partner's a Monkey, Santa Claus and Billy and Mandy, and perhaps the last role he ever played, God, in Smiling Friends. Yeah, I will admit, like I said before, it was very traumatizing and very heartbreaking knowing that Gilbert died so quickly. In fact, he was like my most favorite comedian. And aside from Iago, my most favorite role from him was his cameo in the Weird Al show, where in Weird Al he gets a letter from a fan saying that people make fun of me because I have an imaginary friend. What do you think? Oh, there's nothing wrong with having an imaginary friend. In fact, I still have an imaginary friend. I call him Gilbert. That's my name. That's my name. Why wouldn't you call me Gilbert? That's my name. I did a little animation on that using Cheese Sandwich from My Little Pony and Iago from Aladdin. If you want to check out, I made that like about 8 years ago. Oh, do a tweak from Moran's. Oh, somebody wants me to do The Tempest. Okay. No need to explain Tempest, except it was like the first thing I ever did in the what was it again? It was the first Shakespeare thing I was ever taught in school. Oh. We were reading all about Othello. I mean, not Othello. We were reading about The Tempest, and later Romeo and Juliet, and later Macbeth. And that's when we stopped. We didn't continue with any other Shakespeare works afterwards. I wanted to learn Julius Caesar, but the teachers insisted I do Macbeth. I mean, we all know that Julius Caesar was known for the line, "Et tu, Brute," as in, "You too, Brutus? How could ya?" And he faints. Now, The Tempest, in case you don't know, is about Prospero the sorcerer and his daughter Miranda. They've been stranded on an island for many years. They come across some various creatures. They're stranded on an island, and they have other characters like Ariel, the spirit, and Caliban, a monster who is also Prospero's slave. And actually, I'll just keep them. I'll just have the mitten. And then they were banished and then another a ship of containing their rivals, Antonio and then Alfonso. They come in to wreck everything. Let's say. Now, Ariel is said to be either male or female. I think they might be non-binary. It's like one of the first characters ever, one of the earliest characters ever made to not have a character with no specific gender. Here. Yeah. And now we're having more characters nowadays who are non-binary, like Rain Whispers for the Owl House. I didn't think they were non-binary at first. I had to look it up online to realize that was. And I did think they sounded a little James Arnold Taylor-ish, but it turns out it wasn't the case. And I'm still new at this. The Midsummer Night Dream. I remember seeing a play on this in 2006 while I was in England. Basically, 4 lovers, Hermia and Lysander, Demetrius and Helena. 2 men love 1 woman. Then there's something about the fairies and a character with a donkey head. Not to be confused with Princess Ariel. A Midsummer's Nightmare. Yes, The House of Scrooge, Midsummer's Night Dream. I remember that. Strange Magic, anyone? I thought people are forbidden to talk about strange magic. Then again, I would rather do strange magic than do another show that has fairies, if you know what I mean. Let's see. I'm actually surprised not a lot of people know about A Midsummer Night's Dream. Let's see. Let's see. Queen. What was it again? Why specifically Luann as Queen Titania? Wouldn't she fit better as Puck? I mean, Puck is the one who conjured up the love spells. It's a form of trickery. If anything, it's Lori or Lenny who would fit well as Queen Titania. I meant. Apparently, I also noticed that Midsummer is not in the middle of July, as many thought it was. It's actually on June 24th, which is like a few days after the summer solstice. Am I correct, or did I get that mixed up? I mean, I did make an animation about the spring equinox. I have to prepare myself for an animation for the summer solstice when June starts. Oops. Now, I will admit, there are some times when my dislike for something can get a little bit too overbearing, and maybe one day I should properly check out the stuff I don't necessarily like and maybe give it another shot to see if my opinions change over time and see if maybe those old feelings have been rekindled. Take, say, Tinkerbell, for instance. I used to dislike her a lot as a kid. But when I got her for Disney Infinity, and with my love for Fairly Odd Parents, and my being okay with Persephone and Skylanders, and oddly enough, kind of chuckling at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Tooth Fairy, my dislike for Tinkerbell got waned over time, and I became a bit more accepting of her over the years. I still like to poke fun of her being stuck at things, but perhaps one day I should take another look at DC superhero girls. See if my old feelings are, if I still have that thing. I mean, the only reason why I didn't really enjoy it was because of Giganta's what they did with Giganta. I mean, she was like my favorite DC villain, and I wasn't exactly pleased with with her portrayal. Oh, the Generation 1 version was a better. It did it better, in my honest opinion. Now, a lot of people question whether or not. Now it is very questionable why in G1 Harley Quinn actually goes to superhero high, even though in most portrayals she's supposed to be the villain. That is true, but the thing is, we're not really supposed to see Harley Quinn as the villain. In fact, in the original Batman vs. Batman, the animated series, she was actually manipulated to becoming the Joker's henchwoman in something in the episode Mad Love reveals it. And her motivation to do crime was because of the Joker. In something like Birds of Prey and the Harley Quinn TV show, she then realizes that the Joker has been just using her stuff, and now she decides to be a bit more independent. And she still does bad things, but she does unoccasionally, unwillingly do something a bit heroic, like in Birds of Prey, and I think in the Harley Quinn TV series. And heck, in Injustice 2, Batman actually recruited Harley Quinn to help stop Superman. I know we enjoy her best as the villain, but we're not really supposed to see her as that. And there's even an episode of Batman the Animated Series called Harley's Holiday where Harley has been let out of jail and she tries her dang hardest to be good, but she doesn't exactly understand how society works. She still thinks that people don't trust her and stuff. And then there's the episode with the villain named Lockdown where Harley is actually scared of the policeman. He's like, he tries to. He says we don't deserve a chance even if we have been good. Everybody was scared of that guy. Anyways, what was I? Okay, goodbye. Rover. Okay, next stop is Julius Caesar. Fearing that Caesar, who was about to be crowned king, would spread his tyranny throughout Rome, Brutus and many other of Caesar's followers, they literally backstab Caesar, and Brutus debates if he did the right thing, if this was the right thing to do or not. Hence the line, "Et tu, Brute?" Okay, let me rephrase that. Let me try and speak in that frog's voice. "Et tu, Brute?" How many of you are excited to see the finale for Amphibia in the next few weeks? Sprig as Julius Caesar. Isn't that more of okay, maybe not Hop Pop, but isn't that more of Sasha or King Andreas's thing? I mean, they're the ones with the newts and the newts going to war and stuff. In fact, I would like Julius C. Then again, and it's kind of a bit of a reverse in the sense that Julius Caesar got backstabbed by his friends, while King Andreas backstabs Marcy. It's a bit of a reverse. Hey. Here we go, we have Sprig as Julius Caesar. Next up is Richard the Third. Yes. A villainous version of the former king of England. He goes on a murderous rampage in order to become king, killing his nephews, brothers, anyone in his way. Wait a minute, this is not accurate to the true history of Richard. What the heck? I mean, there's a lot of retellings that are either inaccurate, just as like back then or even now. I mean, how many of us still believe that Dimetrodon and Gorgonopsids are still reptiles instead of synapsids? Which is like is Michael more on a mammalian line rather than a reptilian line. Let's see, what was I? There's a Richard. Yeah, it might be a little. That one might be tough. So, anybody else? Anybody else? I never watched Amphibious, so, what's this character? Now, Richard III is known now in the Shakespeare's telling of Richard III. He is said to be he's shown with a crippling with a humpback, but really it was a how do I say it? It was like a medical condition on his back. It was not a hunchback. He was just he just had a different backbone. There are some people I do know who actually have a different and I think Shakespeare's portrayal of Richard III might not be suited for them. It might be a bit ableist, let's say. There's another story I like to tell you all. That when my dad asked me to do something sports related, like do something to help promote some sports, I knew I wasn't really the biggest sports geek, but I did think of one thing that might help please my dad as well as share some of my mom's interest. William Shakespeare. I call them Shake Sports, where we have sports retellings of famous plays. Like instead of Hamlet, it's Slamlet. Instead of Romeo and Juliet, it's Soccer Romeo and Footballiet. And as for Taming of the Shrew, it's Taming of the Tigress after Tiger Woods. As for Richard III, I don't think I did anything sports related, but for some reason this idea called Richard the Nerd keeps popping in my head, where he doesn't really kill people by stabbing them or stuff like that. He just goes up to them and he talks about some nerdy things like Star Trek, Star Wars, and stuff. And once he's finished, he unwillingly bores them to death. It never really went anywhere. Okay, that Richard III is done. Now, next up is As You Like It. Rosalind and cousin Celia are fed up of her uncle Duke Frederick's tyranny, so they fled to the forest disguised as a man and a poor lady to find Rosalind's exiled father, Duke Senior, and it's known for the phrase, all the world's a stage. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Now, let's see, anybody else in the chat room? Hmm. There's a bit of a weak thing like George Washington, as far as I'm aware, or Mozart. Cannot forget his wings. Now, with something like Spyro, I can easily say that he just tucks him away. But with something like Drobot, I can say I can have them ejected so it doesn't feel super heavy what he's wearing. But a lot of people say it's a vital piece of the design. Well, that's what I thought for... no, I was just thinking about something else. Okay, fellas, we got Drobot as Duke Frederick done. That says you like it finished. Now, as for the 12th night, it's let's see, we have the 12th night. Viola and Sebastian were separate in a shipwreck. Viola disguises herself as a man named Cesario, and falls in love with Duke Orsino, who is in love with Countess Olivia, who is in love with Viola disguised as a man, thinking that she's a man. Now, just out of curiosity, if this was made today, and if Olivia realizes it's Viola on this in that disguise, do you think she would still love Viola, as in a little LGBT representation? I know something like that didn't really exist in the Shakespeare times, and even if they did, it'd be whew, heresy or blasphemy or something like that. Anyways, what was I? Okay, let me just. I just thought of a bit of a joke. It might be if I decide to do an animation on that, but let's say anyway, just a quick moment. A lot of your crazy ideas are ping pong related. What was that again? I could have sworn there was that. Also, you got to keep in mind that Viola and Sebastian are siblings. I think there was some. But hey, if they're actors first over characters, then okay, I have no idea what I'm saying. I mean, most characters are played by actors who are not related, and sometimes they are, but on different relations. Like Tex Heyman at one point was the voice of Lincoln, and he is the son of Gray Griffin, who voices three of Lincoln's sisters, Lola and Lana and Lily. Let's just say her haircut is a little shorter, so I don't think there's ever gonna be, I don't think actually yes actually I did see Oh yeah, I remember now. There was an episode of The Loud House where they did mention Shakespeare, and they did have a lot of, but it wasn't really about Shakespeare. It was about Luann with her crush on Benny, and there are many tryouts to see who is Romeo, who's Juliet. Luann even asked for what was it again? Shakespeare tried to go with a modern take on the subject. Okay, that's Ronnie Ann as Viola done. I think I'll just have him as a little bit more. There we go. We have Ronnie Ann and Lincoln as Viola and Sebastian. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky to explain. The Winter's Tale. I love to see Luann perform a production of Shakespeare in the Midsummer's Night Dream. Oh, well, who's spamming? Who's spamming? Okay, anyways, The Winter's Tale. By order of the overreacting King Leontis, baby Perdita was exiled in the coast of Bohemia. Discovered and raised by shepherds, Perdita later returns to her homeland of Sicily. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I'm only introduced to it to the animated 30-minute version of it. I think there are some details I might have missed out, so it's and I'm just trying to comprehend on this one. So who's the overreactive king, or who's the banished princess? Let's see. Cat rat. Cat rat. Isn't that like cat dog? Gabby's dollhouse. Man, I'm getting a lot of preschool requests for something as dark as Shakespeare. I mean, a lot of Gallus exiled. King. I mean, imagine trying to explain a bit of... And if you're trying to adapt something, Hamlet or Shakespeare for kids, it's going to be very tricky because, of course, there's a lot of death involved. So... I mean, there are ways to incorporate that, and you can have a story inspired by Shakespeare, and also be kid friendly, without the tragic deaths and stuff. I mean, I did once try to make my own version of a comedy version of Romeo and Juliet by having every animal as a reptile. And I even one point did an animation where I have every character looking like an animation of Macbeth where everybody is a carboniferous animal. Since it takes place in Scotland and a lot of carboniferous period stuff takes place in is found in Scotland, like the giant scorpion and the tracks of an arthroplura. I thought maybe Macbeth should have a carboniferous setting, and Macbeth would be played by an arthroplura. And one of the jokes is that they do the class. They meet the witches. They tell him that he's going to be king of Scotland, but then they're like, okay, closing up time. Bye bye. And then they're like, fancy some McDonald's? I'm sorry. Okay, here's my attempt to make Cat Rat as a King Leontis. That's A Winter's Tale done. Next up is Taming of the Shrew. In Christopher Sly's dream, he watches a play. Katharina is problematic and rebellious. Thankfully, Petruchio is here to soothe the savage beast. You could make an argument that this play is sexist, where it says that women have to be tamed and have to be treated, have to learn how to be proper housewives. At this day and age, my mother did not like this. So maybe we can find a better version. Maybe we can try and alter it a bit to make it more accustomed to. I mean, nowadays we have a variety of women with different thoughts and different feelings, and there are those who don't want to fall in love and don't need to fall in love, like Jade in Animations. She's revealed to be an arrow and an ace. And in the Owl House logs, they say Lilith Clawthorn is said to be an ace. That's not nice of the story. I've moved on from A Midsummer's Night's Dream. Can I move on to something else? Okay, Banjo, cause well, you think the bird has to be tamed? Petruchio. Actually, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. Wait. Wait, just what have I gotten myself into? And maybe it should have been Gruntilda instead. And just a little bit of there we go, fellas. We have Banjo and Kazooie playing as Petruchio and Katharina from Taming of the Shrew. Now we come from one controversial play to another controversial play, The Merchant of Venice. Bassanio is in love with rich Portia, but he's got no money, so he and his friend Antonio the merchant find the money lender named Shylock to lend him some money. But if he can't return the money, Antonio will be arrested. Like the Taming of the Shrew, this one is also a subject of controversy, saying that it's kind of anti-Semitic, and it might have started the trend of Judaism stereotypes of Jews being money lovers or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't aware that this was kind of a stereotype for Judaism. I mean, Gilbert Gottfried, who was a Jew, he had this joke about the Titanic. He's like, yeah. When he talked about the Titanic, he was like, at least it wasn't, you can't blame the Jews on this. It was an iceberg, not a Goldberg or a Silverberg. So, let's see. Who's he in love with? Now, some of you might be asking me if I should one day, do an Owl House themed live stream. I would love to, but I think it's best that I ought to wait for when the Owl House either ends or if it runs for a very long time, because sometimes I think it's a bit too early to do a live stream based on something that's just a few years old. I think the best way to do a live stream is based on something that you either did a ton of research on, or you've really caught up with the show, or if it's ended like a while ago, or you've known it for a long time, or something like that. And which is why I often wait before I can get myself into. And keep in mind, I've only been a humongous Owl House person for just a couple of months. I thought maybe I need a bit more time to devote myself to the franchise before really committing to the idea of doing a live stream. I mean, that's what I did with Star Versus. I mean, I've been a fan of it since 2017, and I've been studying it. I've been looking up its history. I've owned books. I've owned a book on it. I've learned about, like I said, I've learned about its history, and I do a lot of research, and then I do the Owl House live stream, and then I do a Star Versus live stream. I have to really get committed to doing a live stream like this in order to get into this. And Shakespeare, I think I've known quite a bit. I've researched quite enough to know about wait. Shakespeare, I've learned quite a bit since my teen years, and I think I've learned enough to do a live stream on it. There's that. Okay, we've got one more play enlisted, and maybe. And if you like, you can suggest to me one more Shakespeare live stream you want me to do. Much Ado About Nothing. Two pairings, Hero and Claudio, Beatrice and Benedict. Don John plans to ruin the wedding and make a fool of his brother Don Pedro. There was even a scene where one of the women named Hero faints, and they thought she might have died. But no, she's actually all right in the end. So let's see, who's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Another Luann thing? I already did The Merchant of Venice. Moving on. Some. Oops. according to Shakespeare's Shakespeare didn't really and I don't think, according to the Shakespeare illustrations of the Much Ado About Nothing, the wedding headdresses were. I don't think wedding headdresses were a thing back in Shakespeare's time. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do enough research, but from what I'm seeing. I think I better let me ask you, fellas, do you prefer the sea ponies when they were sea ponies or hippogriffs? Just making sure I know that I drew the wings. I know in MLP's case they can fold the wings so it doesn't, so you don't have to always see them flight. But sometimes it's a good analogy to. It's good to let people know that they are in fact Pegasi or hippogriffs or griffins or whatever. Something I often head scratch to myself. Since a griffin is part eagle and part lion, are griffins natural born predators? Because eagles and lions are. And as for hippogriff, does that make them omnivorous or herbivorous? What are your thoughts on that? You know, it's kind of sad that My Little Pony season 8 and 9 are about a bit more progressiveness and allowing more diversity in their race and allowing more creatures to shine like hippogriffs and griffins. And yet, when season 9 ended, they go focusing on the ponies again, and they talk about the bigotry and sensitivity and discrimination with the Pegasus and the Pegasi and the unicorns and the earth ponies. Oh, forgot one more thing. Must never forget. There we go. We have Silverstream and Gallus as Benedict and Beatrice. That's the Much Ado About Nothin' done. Okay, now I might allow one more unless you have no idea what to do. Then I'm allowing one more Shakespeare play. And if you have no idea which one to choose, we can just end the live stream right here. There are a few out there that I didn't enlist, but maybe you might have heard about them, maybe not. There's the Two Gentlemen of Verona, which is Shakespeare's earliest play. There's Henry V. There's Henry VIII, you know, the guy with the 6 wives. There's Timon of Athens. That's where the meerkat got his name. What else? Love's Labor Loss. Who are the characters in Love's Labor Loss? Let me find a summary for that. Yeah. It follows the king of Navarra and his 3 companions as they attempt to swear off the company of women for 3 years in order to focus on study and fasting. Their subsequent infatuation with the princess of France and her ladies make them forsworn, break their oath. How do I explain? How does that work? Hey, you know what? I'll just do. I think we kind of already. I'll just do this. We may not be familiar with Shakespeare's telling of this, but many of us do kind of know the history of this person, this tutor. He's like he's got a little rhino or unicorn horn on his head. Okay, let's dress him up as Man, with all the detail they included on those paintings in the old ages, it must be quite difficult. Oh, I mean, remember, this was before you can stand still and just take a picture, but back then you had to stand still in order for the artist to paint. Not exactly the ideal husband. In fact, Legends of the Hidden Temple had at least 2 different tellings of Henry VIII. The first one is, of course, how many of us know the tale. Oh, he had 2 wives who have given him baby girls, but Henry wanted boys. Finally, his 3rd wife gave him a boy, but Henry wanted more. So he married 3 more times. He grew bitter and unhappy and he was worried that his one son would not be strong enough to run his kingdom. The unhappier he was, the fatter he got, and he became so fat that when he died, they had to put him in a coffin the size of a small piano. And the other tale is that he was a portrait for. He was proposing for Hans Holbein, but then he was like, "How dare you make me twice as fat as I am? By the looks of it, it makes me look like Henry the 16th. And my face. I suppose you like my chin so much that you drew 4 more just like it." And Hans is like, "I paint what I see. I can do no less and no more. I will throw you in the aisles, boil you in oil, and that's just the good news. Well, perhaps I can draw a little bit better." And then he painted a more flattering portrait, which still hangs in the king's royal palace. And as for the old painting, it ended up in the temple. And that should do it for this Shakespeare live stream. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but alas, the curtain must fall at every play. And now as for my next live stream, I don't know, fellas, because I don't think I can do a live stream for May. I think I might have that one, because of family matters, I don't think I can do a live stream for May. I might just focus on just doing animations and drawings and some. If I can do a live stream in May, it may only be just one, and I'll give you a little hint on what that is. Strolling through somewhere one day in the merry, merry month of May, I was taken by surprise by a pair of roguish eyes. And then my poor heart was stole away. I'll never forget the day I met her at the fountain in the... It's a place somewhere. It's a place where we often take our dogs to walk, where we look at the trees. There's a playground, something like that. Okay. I'm timing you out. Oh, okay. Okay, time out. Sorry, this guy I've known for years, he just needed to be in a bit of a time out. I mean, jeez, you guys becoming he's been quite opinionated over my live streams. Yes, I will admit, I have been a bit opinionated over some of my live streams, but man, he needs a bit of a time out. I mean, Anyways, yeah, there's that. But if I'm not able to do anything in May, then for my first June live stream, here's a little jingle I like to play for you all. Recognize that tune? It's from somewhere. It's definitely from somewhere I know. I've been a fan of something like this for many years. Yep, that's it. If I can't do anything in May, expect something like that in June. Thank you for joining me, and like I said, parting is such a row, but the rest is silence.